Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of the official ARK podcast, back with the big number 400. My name's Coach MT, and I'm here live today with the core team. Your host for tonight, as always, the one and only, the unforkable, Mr. Atlas. Please take it away.
Thank you for the introduction, Coach MT. And folks, welcome back to another edition of the ARK Daily Podcast. This is Tuesday, December 5th. Hope you all got your tacos. I know you all definitely got your rewards from the legacy NFTs. Shout out to the team here on the ARK, making sure that those rewards went out so fast, so smooth. Sheesh. There was a little bit of a delay. It didn't fire correctly on the first run, so we did an automatic manual distribution, but the system seems to be synced. So 11 a.m. Central European time. You could look at Zurich. You could look at the time in, say, Copenhagen or Amsterdam, any of those Central European cities, and check that against your clock and the hours between you and that city, and you'll know exactly when you're going to be seeing those rewards come through. A couple of folks were surprised. I was next to somebody that jumped off their chair because the notification ping on the phone definitely let them know that they got paid. So great to see that. I know a lot of folks are, looking forward to getting their NFT payouts. And there's definitely no secret. We're seeing interest. We're seeing folks come on in into transferring, consolidating, and working their way up, adding more every week, if possible, to be able to go through the levels, go up the ranks, to lock in the higher level NFTs to get that boost, which does make a huge difference. So it's a great thing to do. A lot of work happening here too. I was up till very late talking with some influencers. I mentioned this before. We've been approached by a lot of people that when we launched, it's going to be a 1-year anniversary coming up here on December 18th. They've come to me recently just kind of tired and disappointed as a promoter, as influencers, rug after rug after rug, and lies after lies. And some of them have reached a point where they want to be in the business, they want to promote, they want to bring their communities great projects, but unfortunately they just get let down time and time again. It's been a rough year, especially for the folks that have invested and diversified into some of these things that appear to have a lot of hype, appear to have professional teams and good ethics and safe contracts. But time and time again, the investor base is defrauded, the investor base is let down, and a lot of folks have just, gone into the cave. They've thrown in the towel. They don't have the energy, and it's now to the point where it's affecting some of these influencers because they don't want another set of investors crying and feeling upset because they brought them into something, because they were paid to promote something. So there's definitely a shift happening. I'm personally seeing it. I want to share that with all of you. And it's great to be singled out and contacted by these people and say, hey, you guys are special. You guys have been true to your word. You guys have followed through on your commitments, and you're continuing to build, and you're going in a direction that is amazing, that they respect and appreciate. And they want to get involved. They're trying to find projects like ourselves to only work with and make sure that at least they can go to bed at night knowing that they've done their due diligence, that they're not going to hear their community crying time and time again. And sometimes, I had someone write me yesterday, I got offered all this money, Mr. Atlas, and I'm turning it down. I want nothing to do with it. I'm going to work with you guys here on the ARK. Let's get this crypto. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Brett Nordin. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Heinous debacles out there on the streets, but interesting story to get the feedback and how they're like, hey, I'd rather starve than to continue to work for these folks that are just full of it. There's a point, right, where some people they grow a spine and they have to look in the mirror. We've talked about this here a lot in this past year about looking in the mirror and being in integrity. So it's really nice to see. It's really nice to see some folks standing up, making the right decisions. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, and I think we're seeing the shift. Well, we know that there's a cleanup happening in the crypto streets. Alongside of that, I think there's just the personal integrity of people, and we saw this during the last bull run. I mean, even with NFTs and celebrities getting involved, and then getting slapped on the wrist with huge fines and promoting tokens and things like that pumped hard. Crypto was always kind of the place. If you want to make a quick buck overnight, and a lot of that I think is going to get swept out. I think maybe not this bull run. This bull run feels a little more speculative still, at least in the beginnings here. If we are getting into a bull run scenario, coming in 24, 25, I think there still might be some of that nonsense going on, but I think they'll be quick to react and kind of clean up those things. So it's great to see sort of internally inside DeFi, these influencers and people understanding that they do have the power to make markets move and do that in a responsible way. Make sure you vet projects or, hitch your wagon to real utility projects that have, a real opportunity to build something, and look at what's around in that space and say, hey, does this have a real use case? Does it have utility? And then, if it does, then that might be something to get involved with, especially take a look at the team and see if they have a track record, can deliver, what do they have already built, what can we look at, what can we play with, what can we use right now. And I think that's where we're at. We're with our banking products. We've been working really hard. I know you have too, in the background on the marketing aspects of things. We've gotten our Telegram act together thanks to Mistletoe. We've got all of our banners now cycling properly. Now we've got our buy bot coming, if you want to call it that, for the legacy NFT. We saw a really nice upgrade just happened moments ago. I think about an hour ago, somebody upgraded from gold to platinum. So 6,000 USDT coming into the system. So I think there's one more, just the mint function needs to get tweaked a little, and then we'll be in business and have, sort of our focus now on the utilities, a focus now on the legacy NFT as far as the DeFi earning side, the yield side. But it's all 100% backed with real world utilities. So yeah, it's a different story, but I think it's one that people want to hear now. People would wish they heard from other projects. And so I think we're going to have some open arms. Of course, there's always, some groups that want to still play the game. And that's great, but I think a lot of them are just understanding it is what it is, and get in early, get out early kind of attitude, and don't get caught at the end, which we all know becomes a mess. And that can happen a bunch of different ways, rug pulls, exploits, whatever it might be. But as you hold on longer, the risk goes up higher and higher for an event like that to happen. So yeah, it feels good to be on the other side of that now, not having to worry about the token price and the pressures that come with that, the constant growth needed to feed it. Now we have, a real business, as you mentioned. You're going to be helping with setting up the entity in Switzerland. That's going to be huge for us. We've kind of always been operating, in the crypto shadows, and it will feel good to have a real business that we can connect with real partners and real companies. And now that we're dealing with, infrastructure and applications and end users and terms of service agreements and things that are attached to our applications, that's important. and people need to understand that, you know, we do have rules of engagement and we are abiding by those rules, but they are the most optimal rules that we can possibly have in the environment that we're operating in. So I think Switzerland's can be a great home for us, and it'll allow us to do things that we couldn't do out of the US, for example, or other EU nations, but still under the privacy guidelines and under the banking rules that Switzerland offers. So yeah, that's going to be a huge move forward for us, and right on the the cusp of us launching our privacy products, having that extra layer of protection being in Switzerland is going to be huge. So yeah, we had a great meeting this morning with the privacy team. Lots going on there. We are gearing up for our demo on Thursday, so I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be more of the email system revealed. Today we had a lot of great discussions about just trash functions and link sharing and things like that for not only the email but also the storage system, and how that all functions with the term of service updates, versioning of the application. There's a lot that goes on in the background, just maintaining an app and pushing updates and making sure that all of our users are compliant with our terms of service. And yeah, so that was the big highlight of the day. It doesn't sound very sexy, I know, sorry. But it's just stuff that we have to walk through and make sure that we understand, and that we're always in compliance with our app store partners, which will be Apple and obviously Google, and to make sure our application always fits their terms of service and how they expect us to treat our customers, we have to do the same. So yeah, there's always little decisions every day, and we had a laundry list of things today to go through. But other than that, we're pushing forward. Most of the rest of the project is very well defined in terms of feature list and what we're building. And we do have a few things to still figure out on the analytics side, but that's just more of internal admin functions and dashboards and things like that that we will look at to be able to assess, the usage and what's getting the most attention inside the application. But we also have to be careful what data we collect and how we present it, because obviously we are a privacy app, so we do not want to expose any user information that might lead back to their identity in some way. So our data window will be very small and limited in our analytics and what we can see. It'll be just basic things like, do we have, how many Apple users do we have? How many Android users do we have? How many are running on desktop, for example? Things like that. So we can get a little bit better idea of our usage and where we should focus our resources and development for the future. I am going to try to get together a visual roadmap for the privacy products, where we're at, and just have a gauge so that everybody can see from a high level the overall timeline, and then where we are on that roadmap. We have one internally that we use, that we monitor on every couple weeks during our sprints, which is coming up on Thursday, and we use that sort of as a gauge. Are we ahead of schedule, behind schedule, those kind of things, and so people can see the different components and where we are in the cycle. As I mentioned, we're probably about the 50% point now as far as development goes. Still shooting for the Q1 launch, and there'll be lots to do between now and then, just from a business standpoint, a marketing standpoint, and getting ready for when the app is available for beta testing, and then ultimately going live. So we're all looking forward to that. But in the meantime, we are going to push really hard as we possibly can on the banking products, and we'll be out talking to people at the same time, discussing the legacy NFT, how this all ties into our utility revenue, and how that gets fed into the NFT rewards program, and how we can ramp that up and get some affiliates in the door to really push our message. Also expanding our Twitter reach and social media and marketing collateral that goes along with that. So yeah, lots going on, development, marketing. Alex is also working on our homepage, and he made some good progress today. I was just taking a look at a few screenshots he was sending me. We do have the content available for that. It's just laying it out, getting it coded up. So it should be relatively short. So we're hoping, maybe by the end of next week. If sooner, that'd be great. But that will be our new homepage, sort of a landing page for the current products we have now, as well as the legacy NFT, kind of funnel people into those different areas of the D app, and how to engage and get products and services from us, as well as earn USDT through the legacy NFT. That's about it. Anything else that you wanted me to cover?
No, sir. Great to hear the update from your meeting with developers today. Then you have another one on Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday is a demo. So I know you like to go to those.
Yeah.
Mostly focusing on, I believe, some of the email. They might go through some of the trash functions and link sharing and stuff like that. The backend guys are getting started on the password management side of things, and then we'll be moving on to the DVPN. So yeah, things are going well. It's there's a lot of moving parts, so it's sometimes tough to keep up with all the other stuff we have going on, but the team is still firing on all cylinders, and we have our designer in place, and he's sort of leading all of the different areas. Once we have the design complete and the back end's complete, then we hook up the front end. So there's a couple different gatekeepers involved, and we've got a great team so far. A lot of good heads, and I think we're building something special, and I think it's going to really show. Privacy decentralized. It's going to be our kind of our tagline. There's not a lot of options out there as far as decentralized suites like this. Some people are doing one-off components, but when you pull it all together under one hood, I think it's a powerful message.
Let's go. Great work, man. Great work. Continue to move in the right direction, and just get that sense. I don't know about you, Brett, but it just gets better and better. It's reassuring. And I think this week, as we've mentioned, over the weekend, we should announce our first partnership for the Terra Air Card and the on-ramp community. And we're working on a very large one that's been a couple of months in the making. So, we have now really a lot of time and ability to focus and growing that user base. So I think it's going to bring a lot of excitement as folks are going to start to see this thing start to grow. And it's also going to give us the opportunity to get out there and I think do one of the things we do best, which is talking to communities, speaking with investors, answering their questions, making presentations for them. And that's going to be very important. It's going to be vital as we get closer to the release in Q1 of next year, which is just around the corner, of the security products, as we're going to be talking with, some, I think, very, very sophisticated investors who are going to listen to every inflection, every tone, look at every number and every little detail. So I think it's a great way to sharpen our knife and get into that, sales mode, educational mode, and build up everything from the way that our advertising looks, our presence on Twitter. We're going to be doing some work over there as well, so that when we get in front of the big decision makers, the big players, we're just going to shine. We're going to knock it out of the park. So I'm personally very excited about everything that's coming in our future here shortly. You're having a lot of fun getting this crypto. Yes, sir. So great update, man. We let's take a look here. If there's anything else, Coach MT, is there anything that you wanted to bring to the table that maybe Brad or myself?
I don't think so. I just pushed an announcement out. NFT rewards are live, so if anyone is missing rewards or whatever, reach out to me, reach out to the tech support, and we'll get you sorted out.
Let's go, man. Coach MT, always on top of it, leapfrogging. Man, we don't even have to ask him to do things because he just does them. The guy's brilliant, on top of it, great attitude, and understands the responsibilities and what it means to go above and beyond. And that's a great I think, synergy here that we have with so many of our good people. They get things done. Micromanaging is a very energy draining endeavor. If any of you have had to manage a lot of people, and there's folks that sometimes they don't move a finger unless they're told, and that slows everybody down. So keep up the great work, Coach MT. Fantastic, and great to see everybody here. Jashawn, got Mother Goose, Aaron in the house, Archie, Justin McDonald, LCM Crypto, Florida Realtor, Tony Murrow, Hamza, G.I. Joe, and of course, Terry Tibbs, the meme master. A shout out to our sponsor for today, of course, to Terra, the air card, the on-ramp over at the ARK. If you haven't tried it yet, folks, go for it. Also, this week, we'd like to launch the Euro version of the air card that you can load on your phone. No international fees, going from US dollars, like the current air card we have, to euros. It's euros that are loaded. You go and you spend. It's going to be fantastic, folks. Let's get it. The work never stops. And I don't think we'll ever be able to get it done because there's always something else to build. There's always something else to improve. And I think that's a big part of the obstacle as well as the challenge. And of course, the reward when we're able to bring it through and we're able to see that folks are enjoying it and they're making, they're taking advantage of these products. I get notifications every time someone orders a Terra card, an air card. And, when I hear that, I know it's somebody that's understanding the alternative here, what it means. Looking through some articles today, Coinbase is doing some crazy talk. Now they're talking about sending the users' information over to not just IRS, but the SEC. That's a new one. If you haven't checked that out, if you want to see the article, hit me up. Boy, this stuff is getting really, really, really intense. All right, folks, we want to thank you all again for being here. Enjoy your Taco Tuesday, your reward Tuesday, your first reward in a little bit of time. Great to see everybody getting those. And tomorrow's another day, more rewards, another day of building, of growth. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for all your ongoing support. Stay safe out there, my friends. And we'll be back tomorrow, same time, 2 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. UTC. We'll see you tomorrow.